Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I hope you guys are having a great day. Well, seems that Michigan City is going full ban pride flags and among many other things. Now, I'll probably go over here and saying some things that some people may disagree with, and some of you that will actually agree with. Um, if we're talking about all Muslims and how they specifically don't like really gay people in general, well, yeah, I would say that is not okay. I don't think all gay people are bad, especially that there's just the LGBT community that is simply just trying to live their lives and not have this stuff pushed down their throats, etc., etc. And they're against this stuff either. They're just normal people, and I think they should be able to have freedom as much as everybody else in this country. What I draw the line is obviously, which is I think a majority of this country, would be that when you start going after kids or pushing down people's throats constantly and causing problems to other people is when I start having a problem. But if you're doing this in the privacy of your own home, or you're trying to live your life and you just want the typical freedoms to be able to have work, be able to have marriages and stuff like that, by all means have those freedoms. You have that right to do so. But once you start engaging into illegal activity, even downright degenerate and horrible activity that involves kids, then you get on like a radar, and then now you start having my problems. And so what we have here is that Michigan Pride City, with all Muslim council, bans pride flags on public property at bizarre council meeting in which LGBTQ couple kiss in front of a shocked religious groups. A Michigan city with an all-Muslim government has banned LGBTQ plus flags from public areas after a bizarre hours-long meeting that saw displays of passion from both sides. The Hamtramck City Council meeting took a turn when a woman wearing a clown nose made a speech mocking the council and its majority Muslim population before kissing a woman standing next to her Tuesday. Sure, many Hamtramck residents have fled countries where being gay is a death sentence, but nothing says we have to make it comforting and welcoming here, the woman said on Tuesday. While we can't legally discriminate against LGBTQ people in the United States anymore, the city of Hamtramck only can't say, ew, no, be pride somewhere else. The meeting was so well attended, people were listening from the hallways as council members said the pride flag clashed with the beliefs of some members of their faith. Businesses and residents in the Detroit suburb area prohibited from displaying a pride flag on their own property. You guys are welcome, council member Clinton said, but why do you have to have the flag shown on government property to be represented? You're already represented. We already know who you are. Yeah, exactly. I actually 100% agree with this. And I said this many times before. Why do these people specifically need a flag and everything else to represent them? It sounds more like they have a mental health issue or some type of other problem that is making them hate themselves or whatever that they need to get resolved. They need to end up liking themselves. And if you think that a flag makes you feel better, that's just really, really sad and you need help. So, you're already represented. You already have the rights that you need. Now, with the whole trans people, you want to enter women's bathrooms, and that's not okay because technically those women's bathrooms have a lot to do with, girls, and what you trans people like to do to young girls in the bathrooms because you are sick. But again, there is a lot of problems that we have here that we consider a natural issue, and I agree with this. Why do you guys need a flag? Why do you need something to make yourself feel represented? I don't need a black flag to make me represent that I am black. I don't need this. This is not. If anything, it'd be an inconvenience for me. So I don't know why you guys would need something so stupid. We want to respect the religious rights of our citizens, Chaudhry said. Hamtramck population 27,000 is an enclave surrounded by Detroit. More than 40% of residents were born in other countries, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, and a significant share are Yemeni and Bangladesh descent. I apologize to to some of my Muslim audience if I have any. If I mess up those words, all right? I apologize in advance. Hamtramck became the first city in America to have a majority Muslim population in 2015. The two women kissing were followed up by Dev-born activist Hassan Aoun, who spoke passionately against the pride flag on public property. I am Lebanese I am a Lebanese person and I support the American flag. We're not going to sit here and tolerate you guys coming and saying, oh, it's Pride Month, you're gay, no problem. Don't sit here and throw it in front and down the kid's throat, my throat or anybody else's throat. Yes, and again, this is another thing that I 100% agree. That why do you need to throw it down everybody's throat? This is the reason why. I said this before in most of my other things, my videos. That why do these things need to be forced down people's throat? Why do you have to push everything that you have, everything that you love, out to other people? Why is this necessary? We don't need it, and people are getting sick and tired of it. And we're seeing this, obviously, for the whole Pride Month. This has been a travesty for Pride people, an absolute nightmare for them. And the fact is that stop shoving it down people's throats, and you'll make people be fine or whatever. But if you start pushing it down people's throats, as you've been seeing here, you're going to have a lot of backlash. You're going to have a lot of issues. You're going to have a lot of people just not like you, which is, perfectly understandable. Just stop doing it. The council voted unanimously to display only 5 flags, including the American flag, the Michigan flag, and one that represents the native countries of immigrant residents. Good on you. Mayor Emmer Glad made the flag a campaign issue when then Mayor Karen Majewski flew on one city property into the 2021. We serve everybody equally with no discrimination, but without favoritism, he said. Yes, exactly. That's another thing I would say. Why do these LGBTQ people, these Pride people, I'm just going to say Pride people because it means all of them. Why do they need to have favoritism? Why does it seem that they only have to have these certain things or whatever? You're not trying to push for rights or anything at all. You have your rights. You've been given your rights. The only problem is you just want access to bathrooms so you can do something abhorrent to women or children. So, again, what rights do you not have? Because you need to tell me exactly what those rights are. And if you're being denied by companies, then you need to talk about that and address those issues, right? But I can understand why companies wouldn't want to hire you. They don't want to hire you because of all the trouble and chaos that you people bring to the company. It's not good at all. Caleb told DailyMail.com he was upset by what he felt was residents and the media believing they're targeting the LGBT+ community. It's not targeting any specific group, but it doesn't allow any preferential treatment for any group either. It confirms the neutrality of the city government, and it doesn't allow any religious, racial, ethnic, political, or sexual origin group flags on public or city properties. Yeah, because that's perfectly fine. Because the American flag stands for everybody. It doesn't stand for one group of individuals or what have you. It stands for everyone. And the flags that they have pretty much represent everybody that they've wanted. It's disappointing that some media tries to make it sound as an attack against LGBTQ groups or pride groups. I have many members of this group in my boards and commissions that I appointed, and we got along well. I will continue to serve and treat everyone equally. But in this resolution, we block the doors in front of any other radical or racist group that would come and ask for their flag to be flown in city properties. Just last week, Gallup slammed an unknown person for putting a pride flag in the trash after BuzzFeed found it and posted it on Facebook. I condemn all criminal acts designed to stifle debate and the freedom of expression, which, along with religious and press freedom, are the most important rights protected by our First Amendment. Violence only leads to more violence, and we never get to close the truth of other violences with whom we disagree are silenced. Well, not allowing the flag is not a violence thing. If you need to understand what violence means, and these people don't understand what violence means, or completely ignore what the term violence is. Violence is actually attacking somebody, like legitimately, not with words, not with what have you, with using your voice, but with actual physical contact. There is no physical contact with that type of thing, all right? There is none. So you guys are able to burn American flags, so why can't we do the same thing with European flags? Your points never make sense. I don't think that is a reasonable argument. This flag is something that reminds people who lost loved ones of bad and painful memories, he said. We are with tolerance, acceptance, and peace, but we cannot tolerate hateful behavior in our community. Be bullshit. Because we all know on how tolerant you people are. When people go against your narrative, you attack and try to ruin people's lives. You are not for acceptance, you're not for tolerance, and you're not for peace. That is plain and clearly simple. You are not for these things. Get the hell out of here with that BS. We have seen you go attack a group of schools for whatever reason, probably for religious values. You've been attacking people that did have religious values. You cheer at people for standing for their American rights. You hate people who go against your narrative. Every single stretch of the margin. So go fuck off with that shit. All right? I don't want to hear it. Gallup and the city's council, which is all Muslim, has ruffled feathers in their first 2 years in office. In January, the city council voted to allow religious animal sacrifices in the home, with Gallup citing religious freedom. 2 months later, the city passed a resolution supporting Palestine and opposing military aid to all repressive governments. Haley King said she chose to live in a Hamtramck after moving from California because it was known as a diverse community. I'm questioning whether it is. The Pride flag represents making space for all humans on all of the spectrums, and this is where we're going on as a human species. King said, "You can't stop that." Again, the American flag does just that. The so-called Pride flag does not. So let's go with that. Joe Whitlow, director of the Michigan branch of the Council on American Islamic Relations, a civil rights advocacy group, said Hamtramck's strict flag policy doesn't discriminate against anyone. If there was one group that was not being granted access to something while others were then, we would have a problem, Well said. He said Muslims who oppose LGBTQ pride flags are no different than conservative members of the other religions with similar views. Yeah, flags carry symbolism. Those symbols carry social and political messages, Wallace said. It is clear that you're either ignorant, hateful, and unrespectful, said transgender speaker. Yeah, which your symbols is horrible in every regard. Michigan Governor Wetchen was signing legislation in March codifying pride protections into the state civil rights law, permanently outlawing discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity in the state, which, by the way, sexual orientation is already in the law. It's already a federal crime. You can't outlaw something that's already a bloody crime to begin with. You cannot discriminate against people against their sex. It's just not a thing. You're putting a law that's already in place that doesn't. Oh my god. These people are idiots. Budgeting fraud offensive thing. When the bill was proposed to Hope Whitmer's task force will take a look at this and take it into consideration as the state of Michigan makes decisions about grants and other funding. So, yeah, we have this. Karen Majasi saying all this stuff and what have you. So, yeah, good job on you Muslims. You're doing a great job on trying to protect your people and stand with the American rights. Is to have more of our American culture and stuff like that. Good on you. We do not need to have pride flags, all right? Plain and simple. If you want to put up a pride flag or whatever on your home or what have you, by all means, go ahead and do it. But if you're going to put a pride flag in public property or always try to force things down people's throat, then we start having a problem. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.